Welcome back to Big Canoe Earth Sign YouTube channel. Today is our second to last hike before we complete the Big Canoe Trails and Parks guide. And as you know, our goal with this channel is to help people to feel more confident just picking up the guide and going out and hiking the beautiful parks and trails at Big Canoe in Big Canoe, Georgia. Today we're at Wildcat Park and we're going to do the Red Loop today. It's a 1.8 mile loop. It's very easy. It's a paved trail and it's really lovely. It's one of our favorites. We may see some birds. I can hear the birds out this morning. It's late June. We're out a little bit early because it does get pretty warm here in the summer and humid. So try to get out before 10. There are some beautiful flowers we may see. You can pause this at home if you would like to zoom in on any of this. And this is one of the largest parks in Big Canoe, Wildcat. And we're also going to see another dog park. There are 3 dog parks in Big Canoe, and they're all kind of over on this side. This one, you'll see a sign to Red Loop. There's also some little picnic area, and there's plenty of parking over here. You just park right off Wildcat Parkway. But this is a really nice trail, and this dog park is unique because it's divided by size of dog, large and small. And once again, this is Migo. He's going to be our guide today. Migo got very excited as soon as we pulled into this parking lot. He knows the red trail, and it's one of his favorites as well. So we'll be back when we have more. Coming up to the Wildcat Dog Park, we can see this is the one for the small dogs, and this is a new sign. Single family use only, 30-minute time limit. That's new. I'm not really sure what that means, other than perhaps people were using this for commercial use. Not exactly sure how that came to be. And then this is the large dog park. This is for large dogs only, more than 30 pounds. This is really well equipped. On both sides, there's a little doggy pool, there's water, there's of course little doggy bags, there's a little shovel, there's a bench, there's nice shade out there and a good place for dogs to run. There are tennis balls. And of course we have all of that as well in the small dog area. So after the dog park, we're going to get onto the Red Loop, but there isn't actually a sign pointing you in the direction you should go. Red Loop is actually to the right this way. And then if you want to get on the Blue Loop, you just go left after the dog park. When you're on the Red Loop, you will see these little red trail markers. This one is number 1. There are around 20 trail markers, I believe, for a Red Loop. But this will help you know that you're on the right track. Coming across a really nice bench. This appears to be somewhat new. And the Red Loop rather, is very popular with walkers. You could bring a stroller on this one. And the Blue Loop is also paved like this. But we see a lot of activity this morning, a lot of dogs, partially because of the dog park, but also everyone just really likes this trail because it's so well maintained and it's so beautiful over here. On the Red Loop, we come across this little footbridge, and you hear some water below. Migo usually likes to go in right over here. I'm just going to keep an eye out for snakes, which I hope I never see. Nice little spot for dogs to get a sip of water. What a nice footbridge and the little stream under here. Sounds so pretty. Another reason why the Red Loop is such a nice hike or walk is that it's mostly shaded, which is really nice in the summertime when it can get pretty hot in the sun. Nice little surprise on the Red Loop. We've come across another Moonshine Still, and it's right over here. You can take a little trail under this, after this footbridge, to go see it. Let's go check it out. Never actually taken this little path over here to the Moonshine Still, so curious to see what this is all about. So a few notes to share about the Red Loop. We've talked with some of the other walkers on this loop, and I guess it can get pretty loud over here at times because just next to the loop is Steve Tate Highway, although I've only heard a few cars going by. It can be like a minor disruption to the otherwise completely peaceful and beautiful trail that this is. The other thing, apparently there were some bear sightings here recently, and some of the walkers were actually carrying things like bear prevention things. I don't have bear spray. Everybody keeps telling me I need to get it, but I don't have it, and I'm just being cautious, of course, with Migo. Otherwise, wonderful, wonderful trail. Coming up on another little footbridge and pretty little stream. So earlier in our series, we talked a little bit about what is a hike versus a walk. And my logic was, if you could get your shoes dirty, it was a hike. This one, I will say, you probably are not going to get your shoes dirty on this unless you go off of the paved trail. So I could see how someone could make the case that this was actually a walk. But I'm still wearing my hiking boots today for comfort because this is 1.8 miles. But you could say this is a walk. If you do a little off-roading, though, definitely it's a hike. Also to note, here's our red marker again. We're at 7, about halfway, a little less than halfway. But this walk is deemed to be easy, and it is easy in terms of, you know, not a lot of road hazards or trail hazards to step over. However, there is incline on this, and so that's something that you should be aware of as you set out. If you can handle incline, no problem, but there are a few areas where you do have to walk uphill, and just wouldn't want that to be a surprise to anyone who may have any challenges with that, because you're, you know, just about halfway with the hike and you can't really just turn around easily and go back. So I would still call this easy, but there are some uphill climbs on this. We're coming up to a really cool bench. Looks like it's made out of stone, and this was handcrafted by Joe Tipton Big Canoe anniversary, 1972 to 2022, 50th anniversary. How nice. There's also Cody's Water Bar on this hike. How adorable. Right by marker 8 on the red loop. Thank you, Cody. The back part of Red Loop is where I found chanterelle mushrooms last year. They usually come out around late April or May, and you can see them all around the hillside over here. You do go under a bridge on the Red Loop. It's a really well-made bridge. Quite lovely, actually. After the bridge, you have a decision to make. You can either stay going straight, which will take you to the Wildcat recreation area. We covered that in our last video. Or if you want to stay on the red trail, red loop rather, you turn right. And there's some notes here about trail etiquette. You can pause this and zoom in at home if you would like. Basically just share the trail, be courteous. We're gonna stay on Red Loop. It's so easy to walk by these meadows, but there are so many pretty wildflowers and tall grasses in the meadows here at Big Canoe. It's worth stopping and checking them out. So while on the Red Loop, you actually cross over Wildcat Parkway, and then for a moment, it looks like you're getting on the blue loop, which you are for a moment, but then you're going to come up here and turn right. There really isn't a sign, and it is possible that I've been doing it wrong all this time, but this is the way I always do the Red Loop. If you go to the left, that takes you onto the blue loop, but if you take this little path here to the right after you cross Wildcat Parkway, then you get back on the Red Loop to finish it out. All kinds of little gems in the meadows. Another surprise on the Red Loop, the Wellness Collaborative Fit Stations. This is pretty new, probably about a year old. Looks like there's some nice little stations sponsored by the Women's Golf Association and Piedmont Mountainside Hospital. How nice. There's a little guide there that tells you what you can do here at these fit stations. And now we are back at the dog park. Really wonderful red loop walk slash hike. We did some off-roading, so I'm gonna call it a hike today, but this is just one of our favorites, and definitely see a lot of people out here. Beautiful day in Big Canoe, Georgia. Hope that you have fun out there.